get this look started, I'm just going to refer to the guidebook that came with the palette, and I'm going to be trying to do my own version of a Once Upon of Glam. So that is what the look looks like. So the first step is to prime your eyes, and I kind of already did this on my own. I primed my eyes and I set it with the translucent powder because that's just, you know, what works best for me. Totally forgot I was getting an eyeshadow primer in the package, but yeah, this stuff works really well. And then the first step says to sweep painkiller and makeup and chill across the crease to define an inner and outer corner. So I'm just going to take painkiller first, put it in the crease, and then use makeup and chill to sort of define the area. I think that's what they mean by that. So let's see if this ends up looking anything like Nikkie's. Where's my fluffy brush? One thing I like about Nikkie is that she said that painkiller is a perfect transition shade for pale people. And I can really appreciate that. I can relate to that. So I'm excited to see how this is going to work. There is some kickback with this palette, so keep that in mind. But I mean, that's pretty typical with a lot of eyeshadow palettes. And then so I don't fling it everywhere, I'm just going to kind of, you know, dab it on and then work on blending it out. And this is a beautiful transition shade and like perfect crease color for pale beauties. So definitely love that, Nikkie. You guys like how I'm like talking to the camera like I'm talking to Nikkie like she would actually, like she's actually watching this? I mean, that'd be fucking awesome if she did, but. Love it. So now to pick up Makeup and Chill, I'm taking a Morphe G24. Yes, I know it's dirty, all right? My life ain't perfect. It's dirty, but it's clean, you know? So it looks in the picture that she had it in the outer corner and inner corner, so we're gonna do the same. And I love this because it's not too much like normally. Like these colors look a little bit darker in the pan than what they come off. And oh my god, like this is just, it's gonna blend so nice. I can already tell, and I can appreciate that because especially being on the pale side, when you go in with a more of a darker transition shade, it's normally kind of hell on your eyes. Like you are taking up the littlest amount, and then the next thing you know, it's a big muddy mess. But with this, I mean, I think it would be difficult to have that happen with this palette. Oh, this color is amazing. I can already tell that this video is going to be like a million minutes long because I'm just going to keep gushing about these freaking shadows, but they're seriously like, they're so beautiful, and like these just Painkiller, Makeup and Chill alone by themselves are such gorgeous subtle colors. Like I'm just loving this, and it builds up really nicely, so I can really appreciate that you have that option there if you wanted like a more natural look, and then if you wanted to make it dramatic, you can easily build it up. So I mean, I can't get over this right now. I mean, really, I can't. Alright, so I'm not going to build this up. Do I want to build this up as dramatic as hers? I don't think I'm going to make mine as dramatic as Nikkie's in the picture. But yeah, and then the next step is to just take this Makeup and Chill color and define the lower lash line with it. So now I'm taking up a Real Techniques detailer brush to define that lower lash line. And then once you have that defined, you want to kind of connect it back to the crease. And while we're talking about promoting YouTubers here, if you guys haven't checked out the Real Technique brushes, they're awesome. They're also designed and created by YouTubers on here, Pixie Woo. If you don't know them, then you should probably check them out. Alright, and then the next step is to press Irresistible into the center of the lid. And I like that it said press because you were just going to get so much more pigment and a, you know, more powerful color payoff. So Irresistible is this beautiful gold color. Probably should have been showing you guys maybe what these colors look like as I've been going, but, you know, mistakes were made. This is so beautiful. And you really don't need that much either to get such an amazing like payoff and pigment from this. Ah, you could just tell like how finely milled the glitters in this are, and it's so beautiful. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and like blend around that with this Morphe brush. And this is gonna help, again, I say this in like all my tutorials, it's gonna help knock like any sort of like heavy glitter that got into the crease. If you go over it with your blending brush, it's gonna help knock that out of there. And then it just says to line your eyes with the sketch marker, draw outline of the wing first, and then fill in. Looks like that is about it for the eyes for this tutorial. So I'm gonna go ahead and catch this eye up and be right back. Alright, so I would attempt to do eyeliner on camera, and the keyword there is attempt, and another keyword is try. I'm going to try to stay in frame, so let's see how this works out. This marker gets super thin, which is amazing. So far, so good. There we go. Alright, so the final steps are just to add their Love Blush blush, and I Will Always Love You. And it just says to highlight your cheekbones, but I also want to test out the bronzer in here, so I'm going to use all three. So first, I'm going to bronze, and to do that, I'm taking my Morphe M435. And this is a chocolate souffle, and I've used this before. It's highly pigmented. And it definitely has more of like an ashy tone to it, so it also makes it really nice for contouring. So I'm sure you guys can see the difference there. I barely touched the brush to my face. So then now, once I got the majority of the product off, I'm gonna work on blending that, and I'm also gonna blend it around my head. Yay! Now this may sound odd, but I'm actually going to take this fan brush. This is just an Urban Decay fan brush, and I'm going to use that to contour my nose. And basically what I mean by contour, I mean just do like the slightest bit of definition to the nose with that. I haven't tried this before, so we'll see how it goes. So you definitely want to dip the product down so just the middle of it is hitting that, so you don't get it all over your nose. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. You can see that there's the slightest bit of definition there on my nose with those little lines, and that's really what you want. And then you want to find something to blend that out with. Actually, that detailer brush, this that I was using earlier would have been perfect, but now it's dirty. I'm kind of stuck because I'm in a position where like almost all my brushes are dirty, but I'm going to take this Mona brush. This came in an Ipsy bag, and this would also be an excellent brush for contouring your nose as well. And I'm just going to work on dragging that down and blending it in. And then if you wanted to define more, you can use more, but I just wanted it to be a little bit more of a subtle look. So let's go ahead and see what this blush is like. Again, this is dirty, but not dirty. And it said to use I Will Always Love You, which makes me a little nervous because it's pretty orange and I'm pretty, I don't know, pale. But I mean, if it works on Nikki, then it should work on me. So I see why they didn't direct you to use the bronzer, because this kind of does have like a nice like bronzing effect to it, because it does have a little bit of like that darkness to it. So you definitely don't need to go in heavy with a bronzer. Yeah, just if you really wanted to define a contour, use that Chocolate Soleil shade is perfect for that. And this blush definitely has such like it has a sheen to it, and it's just really nice looking. And then for highlighting, I'm going to use the Champagne Truffle. I'm so excited. I'm using a Sephora fan brush for this. Ooh, very nice. I was almost worried that this would be a little bit too pink, but it really isn't. Hello, highlight. I believe Nikki said in her video that this was actually an eyeshadow shade, and it was just so amazing that she wanted to transform it into a highlight shade. Girl, job well done. Okay, so going back to the eyes, I did put falsies on. And now we're gonna finish up that, and then we'll pretty much be good to go. So I am wearing Ardell. Oh my god, what style number is this? I want to say it's their 106. I know I'm horrible. I don't put my eyelashes back in the containers they go in, so it might be wrong. I really want to say that these are the 117s, but they're wispy lashes. They're honestly my fave. Alright, so I'm just going to add a little bit extra to this because why not? I'm going to go ahead and define my brow bone, which I probably should have done before I started this tutorial, but whatever. So I'm going to take the color Ivy, and I'm going to use a Coastal Scents angled brush. And just go ahead and define that brow bone. I don't like super definition on my brow bone, so that's why I do use a fluffier angled brush, because it's going to give it that it's not going to be such a harsh line. And then if you wanted to clean up your edges, you can use that as well to do that. I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm just going to use my MAC Luster Glass in Love Nectar and put that on, and I think it will really complement this look well. I think it's fine to I think it would honestly be hard to find a look that this lip gloss didn't complement, but you know. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and a little, mini first impressions with this Nikkie Tutorials palette by Too Faced. If you want a more in-depth first impression review and swatches, I do have a video on that, so be sure to check it out. Thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you aren't already. Let me know in the comments below if you would want to get your hands on this and what kind of looks you would want to do with the colors. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye.